Okay, y'all, we got action. So the next video I'm going to post is going to be the introduction of Mr. Dalton. Now, one of my, hopefully a subscriber with the question, but he may not be. But someone just commented, they said, how was, he a good guy, and Anthony found he was cheating with Shayla prior to sleeping with Wayne. So let's put this all into context. So, true, he didn't find out about Amber and Wayne until Shayla told him after the second time they had messed around or whatever. So you had the first time when Shayla seduced him. He woke up the next morning, demanded that she get out of the house, and he never wanted to see her again. And then when he went over to her house to tell her, hey, this can never happen again, that's when she tooted it up. And the toot got him. So after the toot got him, he came back the next time to say, hey, that will never happen again. And then I believe it was the second official time where he did it consciously without alcohol, that he actually, that's when she told him about his perfect wife, Amber. So you are correct in that. But let's break it on down now. Because, ReRe, I'm a country Wayneologist. Instead of a historian or a country Wayne historian, whatever you want to call it. At the time that Shayla seduced Anthony, keep in mind, they had been married for, I think, like a couple of months. They had been married. They had been engaged for, like, I want to say 3-4 months. They had been engaged for months. During that entire time, they played hard in Anthony's face. Now, true enough, him and Shayla played in the face too, but when him and Shayla were playing in Amber's face, at this time, he had knew about what was going on. And remember, Anthony had asked Shayla to have an abortion. So he didn't want the baby. That was Shayla's doing in keeping the baby. So the amount of time where consciously he didn't know about it was longer, technically. So when Amber was cheating on him with Wayne, and you got to keep in mind, it got ugly. It was times where Anthony was Cookie Monster. He was the Cookie Monster after she had just got through doing the do with Wayne. That's nasty. And that's just trifling. Amber really did put the screws on him. They would have business meetings and she would go in the house. And you got to keep in mind at this time, when she did all this to Anthony really didn't have time because he had, the Shayla thing had started. And then Shayla was just rubbing it in from that point, just like she doing with the baby now. So from a man's perspective, when you think about it, this Anthony, his male ego, this his business partner. Yeah, Shayla was the best friend, but Shayla pursued that. He went into it under manipulation. Amber consciously and willingly cheated on him with Wayne. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was the aggressor. And Wayne, they played in his face. In this next video, I'm going to show you guys, it's going to be on another clip because I don't want them all to be too long. When we first met Anthony on the scene as the investor, Wayne was being petted in. Blake was being more petty because at that time, Ro was with Mike. And for the real Country Wayne fans who was there from the beginning, you remember that Amber was trying to sneak up under and get Mike while he was with Ro. She's one of the reasons that Mike and Ro broke up. Come on, somebody. All I'm saying is that Amber was no angel. Angel was very devious. She was low-key Shayla, even though her and Ro weren't best friends. She snaked him, and then with the Wayne thing, when her and Wayne were together, I believe Wayne was with somebody when she kissed Wayne. Or no, 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 no. It was at the banquet. She kissed Wayne trying to make Mike jealous. And then her and Wayne end up hooking up from that point. So make sure you know your country Wayne history. Because if we go tit for tat, I would have to go live to go there, with whomever who wants to debate me on who did who the dirtiest. Amen. Y'all forget, Amber was a whippersnapper. Even when Amber first, I'm talking about Wamber, and I put her and Wayne name together. Even when Amber started messing with Wayne, we forget she was like kind of gold diggish a little bit, just a little bit. When she showed her homegirls the house and was like, "This, I got keys to everything." Amber was not the humble person we see now. Amber, ironically, is a character that was kind of scandalous. It would be almost, I ain't gonna say that, Lord. I'm not gonna compare her to Momo. Lord, forgive me for even putting that together. In character world. Amber was a bad girl that they turned good through the skits. Amber became this perfect wife when she became a wife. But prior to then, she was very devious towards him. And people getting caught up in, oh, well, he didn't know about the Amber thing, but we know. We know what Amber did, and Amber knows what she did. And I think that could be one of the reasons why she's blaming herself. Like she kept on saying I was the perfect wife, but they were engaged for months. And they dated before they were engaged. Look at the timeline on when we first met Mr. Dalton. It was 3 years ago. So we talking about 2022? 2022 going into 23? Yeah, I've been watching skits since 2020. This is not new, y'all. There's a lot of history between when Amber stepped on the scene, and I'm going to try to find a skit from when Amber came on the scene. And give us a little context to where we are now. It's grace to be given to, there's some grace that should be given to Anthony, too. Yeah, the thing with Shayla was downright dog dirty. But this woman slept with Wayne over and over again. And I'm not harping on it, y'all. I'm not. I love me some Amber now. Amber's a beautiful character, one of the most beautiful characters on the in skit land right now. But I think in the context, like a lot of people saying he fake and he this and he that, they have drugged this man's character through the mud. Anthony came on the scene, an honorable man, even with the Roe thing. Roe was with Mike. She was on the verge of leaving Michael alone because of the Amber stuff. Or getting ready because of the Amber stuff. They just so happened through the business partner thing, they end up dating or whatever. That's why you see Blake hating and saying, she with my daddy, type stuff. But, y'all, he came on the scene. Even on the first thing, he said commitment. He came in committed. Then when he was with Roe, this man has really caught a lot of bad luck. More bad luck than even Amber. He came on the scene, a business investor, looking for someone to share his wealth with. And the first person was Roe. Then when him and Roe got into a deep relationship, then came Chantal saying she was pregnant by him. And before the baby was even born, he was giving her thousands. Because he wanted to, again, what we see now, he wanted to be such a good father. No DNA, no nothing. She just come pregnant. She was a stripper he hooked up with. And he wanted to do the right thing by her. And then he found out on accident the baby wasn't his when he seen her with the real baby daddy. Anthony was not a horrible guy, you guys. He flipped. He even, after the Shayla thing started, after he was tricked into sleeping with Shayla. And I think some of us, we keep saying about how it happened. Some of us, I'm going to download that one. We need to rewatch that one. Anthony woke up that next day, get out the bed. And she was delusional. So you guys, we got to give him a little grace. We giving Amber grace for what she did. We got to give him a little grace. This guy was a good guy in Skitland who they flipped real fast. Mike went always, you talking about Atlanta, I don't know what we go call Mike. Snake Mike, Mountain Mike, I don't know. But Mike was, some of these characters were really good guys in the beginning, and they flipped them. But when the women do bad, what they say, what's this, finesse two times, it's cool when they do it. When I do it, however it go. Y'all know the song, look it up. But we can't get a women passes. Just like Dominic cheated on Mike. Shayla did Mike wrong, so now Mike in these streets. But now Mike the bad guy. Y'all, I'm a woman, but we got to look at it both ways. We just can't keep saying that, it's all about the guy doing wrong. Amber was a whippersnapper. She was over there. But she has been redeemed through the Lord Jesus in Skitland. But that's all I'm gonna say about this. I didn't even mean to go on 11 minutes. But y'all can't come for me when it come to Ant. I'm not taking up for Ant what he's did recently. But if you look at the history and who did who the dirtiest, him and Shayla paid in her face. After 2 times he tried to walk away, and that second time, I believe it's the second or third time, after the first time. And that's when she told him about Wayne. You got to think about it. Him and Wayne was petty from the beginning, back and forth. Look at the first video. They had the ego thing going back and forth from the beginning. Wayne was throwing shots from the beginning. So let me take you back, and then we'll go from there. And maybe one day, I don't know. I'm just learning how to put the skits on there. So we'll go live one day, and maybe we can do some collaboration or whatever. I'm hoping that my brother Dante, one day we can do another live and we can talk about the past, the history. But I'm going to post some skits of the history. And like I said, Country Wayne, please don't, if it's against the rules or something, I put a little disclaimer on that. It's for entertainment purposes only, Wayne. I ain't got to, if you sue me, you ain't going to get nothing. I just love Skitland. But I'll talk to y'all later, but let's look at the facts. And if you ain't watched all the videos, it's thousands of them since 2022. Lord, that mean I ain't had no life since 2022, Lord. Well, I did something personal by myself. I did get a life-changing procedure in 2022. Wait a minute, damn, I shouldn't have said it like that. It was I'll share. I got a hysterectomy in 2022. So I was 8 weeks. That's when I first got addicted. No, it was before then. It was 2020. And later on, I got addicted to skits. So, yeah, a mixture of COVID and then being down in. Yeah, I pretty much done watched them all, y'all. The Amber and Anthony skits, I have watched them all. I don't think it's not a one I done missed, or I ain't seen at least 3 times. So we gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.